It's a lot of... Wow. I am PJ with the High Mountain Home. Gosh. I'm PJ with the High Mountain Home. Oh my gosh. I'm PJ with the High Mountain Homestead, and today I'm going to be talking about... What was I even talking about? Okay, they're quiet, so I'm going to film as much as I can right now. You love homesteading, right? Who doesn't? Actually, a lot of people don't love it. It's a lot of... Wow. It's a lot of work, and there's a lot of downsides to it. But homesteading is so much more important than what meets the eye. I'm PJ with the High Mountain Homestead, and today I'm going to be talking about why homesteading is important, and even more important than maybe the obvious things. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. We talk about all things homesteading, better soil, better plants, better animals. If that's up your alley, consider subscribing. But for now, I just want to get talking about why homesteading is important to me. So if you're watching this video, you probably get some of the obvious reasons why homesteading is important. But I just wanted to get out there, put my foot in the ground, and talk about why homesteading is important to me and some other ways that I think other people can look at homesteading in a different light. Before I do that, let me just rattle off some things that maybe a fellow homesteader can relate with. Animals are hard to raise. They will butt you, they will peck at you, they will bite you, they will poop in their own water, they will ruin your clothes, they will be louder than you ever thought possible. Your chores will be nonstop. You will get sprayed with sprinklers. You will spend hours weeding. You will step in poop every single day. Animals will die sometimes. Sometimes you'll even be the one killing them. The homestead life will make you laugh, it'll make you cry, and it will make you collapse in exhaustion all in the same day. But it is so worth it and so important for a number of reasons. Okay, reason number one, start with the obvious, it builds good work ethic. I am constantly doing homesteading chores. This fence, for example, 2 Saturdays ago, that's what I did, was put up this fence so we could have this chicken run, because that little hole right there is where the sheep come in and out of the run. It's got an automatic door that opens and closes with the light. Really cool. But our sheep would stick their head in there and break it. And that's like over $100 contraption right there that makes our life a little bit easier that the sheep could break in an instant. So I got to spend a Saturday and a half laying this fence down. But it's good work ethic. I know it sounds like I was griping, maybe a little bit. But good work ethic, seriously. These guys think I've got food for them. It actually is pretty close to dinner, so let's feed them. Homesteading builds good work ethic, and it helps you know where your food comes from. I think that those two are inseparably tied together, because the work that you do is inevitably for your food. And coming out here, giving these girls their meal 2 to 3 times a day helps me respect that lamb burger that I have this November, which, by the way, none of them are actually going to become lamb meat. This is my first crop, so I kept all the ewes that we had, but this gal right here, the one that is shorn, she gave us, well, actually we bought her with her twins. She gave twin rams, so her boys are going to freezer camp in November. Is that okay to call it that? Freezer camp? We're all adults. We know what I'm talking about. But I kid a little bit, but I really do respect, where the food comes from. There's a great respect of both the meat and the vegetables that we get from this homestead. All right, another plus in the homesteading life, constant exercise. Stand here for a sec. Get some shelter from the wind. Constant exercise. You know, a lot of people measure their steps. I've got a Fitbit that I feel like is pretty accurate in measuring steps. So it is rare that I do not get over 10,000 steps in a day. In fact, if I do, it's usually on a day that I went into my office job and stayed there for the most part. But even if I'm working from home, like working my full-time job from home, you know, whenever I take my breaks from that, I'm out here moving sprinklers, I'm out here feeding chickens, giving new water, moving the animals, watering the garden. Average, I get about 15,000 steps on a weekday. Man, I hope this weather brings rain. We could so use that rain. Okay, moving on. But back to steps. On Saturdays, I average between 20 to 30,000 steps on a Saturday because I'm doing so many chores that day. Okay, another thing on the homestead, you will learn practicality and frugality. Did I say that right? Being practical and being frugal. If you can't tell by my beard and my hipster glasses, I am a millennial. And part of that means I have the reputation of getting what I want when I want it. And for the most part, that's been true in my life. But homesteading has taught me to do without and to do things myself. And that right there has been really good for me, really good for my family too. I'll give you an example of that. Chicken tractors. We really wanted a chicken tractor, and we started looking online. They are many hundreds of dollars for a good one, for a new one, and so my wife did this whole thing. I just held the baby while she did all the work, because she is a freaking engineer at heart. So very cool chicken tractor, but you know, we bought all the materials on the cheap. We did it on the cheap. We did it ourselves for under $100. I think it was actually closer to like $60 if you factor out the food and the water portions of it. But we did it ourselves. We were practical. We were frugal about it. That brings me to my next point. Family unity. My wife and I have been married 8 years, and this last year has been our strongest year together. I think that's the goal, though. Every most recent year is supposed to be your strongest year together, but the homestead definitely helps. Same with my kids. We have a 4-year-old daughter and a son that just turned 1, and our son loves looking at the animals and talking to them. He loves petting the sheep. My daughter loves playing with chickens, chasing them, picking them up. Like, it's very cool. I don't want to get emotional on this video because that's not what you came here for, but family unity with homesteading is totally a real thing. I could not be happier with where we are as a family than right now at this homestead. Okay, moving on from the sappy stuff. You learned so much on a homestead. And for example, like this simple organism, grass, I have learned so much about grass. Oh my gosh. I have mown lawns most of my life. Geez, look what the wind's doing to my hair. I have mown lawns most of my life. I have stepped on grass all of my life, and I have never known how crazy grass is to take care of and to manage when you put animals involved. I've got videos on that, and I'll definitely be doing more, but you are just constantly learning about animals, about how to breed them, about what to feed them, plants, vegetable gardens. Oh my gosh, I just thought I grew up in Southern California, so I could grow whatever I want whenever I wanted as a kid. Now I live in Utah, where we have these things called seasons. And I've learned you can only grow things on certain seasons. So the learning that you do, there's just so much learning out there that you get out of a homestead. Okay, another thing about homesteading, it's a hobby, right? It's a hobby with a lot of work, but you make it work for you. You'll save money in the long run homesteading. I promise you, your first year you will spend more than you save. But in the long run, you'll save money. And how cool is that? Maybe you could even make money through eggs, meat, or vegetable sales. Okay, another quick one. Greater community unity. I'm sorry about the rhyme. I sound like such a weirdo when I say that. But what I'm getting at is, you get to know your community better. My next door neighbors, they have a property identical to mine. They've got horses, dogs, lots of chickens. They used to do rabbits. He's done sheep before. They are my best friends. We are so close to those people and so grateful to live next to them. I've never been this close to a neighbor in my life. Remember how I talked about frugality? That is a swimming pool that we just found on our property when we bought it. So now that's what they eat hay out of. Anyway, the last thing that I want to say, and I hope I don't get too sappy with this, is that homesteading will let you dream bigger dreams. It is so liberating and fun and entrepreneurial to be a homesteader. So I feel like that is important. It's, you know, it's instilling values of freedom, entrepreneurship, capitalism, fun, family oriented. Like, there's just a lot of good things to say, but all of those things contribute to just dreaming bigger, cooler dreams. Sirens going off. Thank you for sticking through this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. That helps videos from me show up more in your YouTube feed. And if you want to see more videos from a first-time homesteader, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to see you again here. I will see you next time. I'm PJ from the High Mountain Homestead. Thanks for stopping by. We live right next to a hospital, so we get ambulances a lot.